Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever heard of a professional sport where the people who commentate the action, you know, the people like Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, Dominic Cruz, Laura Sanko, Mike Goldberg, that's probably it. Like, yeah, people like them. Could you imagine if they didn't understand the rules of the sport that they were commentating? How crazy would that be if that was the case? Well, let me break something to you. They don't know. They have absolutely no idea how the sport works. I'm going to go ahead and break this down for you guys. All combat sports need to run through athletic commissions. It's just the way things are. These commissions are responsible for providing referees, for enforcing rules, for providing judges, probably other things too that I don't know about, but the big one there, they provide the judges. They provide the people who decide who wins what fight. Now, contrary to popular belief, the judges don't just flip a coin to find out who wins. No. They're actually given a list. They're given what's known as the judging criteria, how they're supposed to base the fights to decide who wins. Now, where this gets fascinating is a lot of these commentators have no idea what this criteria is. Specifically Daniel Cormier. Specifically him. I just don't like the guy. I frankly do not like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like anything about this guy. And he is so egregious when it comes to this area. So egregious. You can find so many examples of this. Look up any fight and there's just a good shot that something like this happened in that fight. I picked a few clips. I didn't want to go on and on and on with this because I'm going to be saying the same thing with every single clip. But here we go. Pretty much the only thing you need to know about the judging criteria is this. Damage trumps all. It is clear as day, written in bold print. The number one thing a judge will decide who won each individual round is who damaged the other guy more. That's it. That is the only thing that matters. If by any odd shot it is very even between the two, it's impossible to tell who damaged who, then you go to effective grappling. And what effective grappling means is that you are getting closer to finishing the fight through your grappling, whether that be passing the guard to side control or mount or taking the back or giving a submission attempt. That's what effective grappling is. Now, by the tiniest, smallest chance that that is also close, the damage is too close to tell, the effective grappling is too close to tell, well, then you go to control time. Right? Then you go to control time. That is so rare. It is so insanely rare that those first two options are dead even. But Daniel Cormier just seems to think that control time wins you the fight. And I don't know where he's getting this from. Because he doesn't understand the criteria. He must have never even heard of it before. Because every single fight, he is just convinced, oh, well, who had more control time? Because that's who won the fight. And you know what? I have a theory about this, right? People say that retired fighters should be judges because judges don't know what they're talking about. But this is where the issues arise, because Daniel Cormier is a wrestler, and he has a very, very, very deep bias to who is laying on top of the other person. Don't believe me? Well, here we go. Clip number 1.
Bisping doing a great job of actually getting his hips, feet on the hips right away. Nope, he can't settle here.
Good elbows on the bottom from Bisping.
But he still can't settle on the bottom. It allows St. Pierre to not only control him, but to rest a little bit.
The second GSP landed that takedown, Daniel just immediately starts with the ignorance. Oh, good feet on hips, good feet on hips. Oh, no, you know, you can't settle here. No, you can't, not there. No, wrong, can't settle on your back. Nope. Luckily for us, Joe decides to actually commentate what he's seeing, and he goes, ooh, nice elbow off his back from Michael Bisping, and Cormier just right off that, no, okay, yeah, but no, yeah, but no control time, control time bad, no, he's losing.
He's fighting in the positions that he's very comfortable.
Well, he had to be expected that the early shot from St. Pierre would be coming in round 3, unable to stop it.
Bisping is trying to set up an arm. Bisping has a really underrated defensive guard, and you're seeing that here. When George elevates, he puts his feet on the hips. When George is down, he locks him up in close guard and hits him with elbows.
But you can't be getting control, right? You cannot be on your back with the guy even landing strikes at all.
And this has been way worse for George St. Pierre on top than it has been for Bisping on the bottom.
Do you hear this guy? Do you hear this guy? Bisping is slicing GSP's face open with elbows badly. GSP can't get anything off. Joe, actually commentating the fight, is taking note of this. He's like, wow, Bisping off his back is hurting Georges St-Pierre a lot more than he's hurting him. And Cormier just could not take that. He just, it hurt his fragile little ego. He's like, no, but I'm a wrestler, and if you're on top, then you're winning. No, you can't give up the control time. What do you mean you can't give up the control time? What are you talking about? You can't give up the control time. It's about damaging your opponent, you idiot. That's what it is. How are you commentating on this sport and you don't know that? And this wasn't just a one-off. You can find little sprinkles of this everywhere, all throughout his commentary.
To a double again, gets his hands locked under the butt, puts him down. Great job by Sean O'Malley getting back up to his feet. Now he knows he's got to put some pressure on Jan after giving up that takedown.
Well, Daniel, if you actually wanted to sound smart here, you would have said something along the lines of, oh, Sean really needs to put the pressure on him now. Jan landed a couple very mild strikes on the ground. Dumbass. And poor Paul Felder. Daniel Cormier was just rubbing off on him a little too much during this fight.
Ah, that's big. That's big for Petr Yan.
Petr Yan has got some very timely takedowns.
Look, it doesn't matter if you think Sean won that fight or Petr Yan was robbed. And either way, does not matter. The only thing you cannot disagree about was that really wasn't that big at all. Unless you were referring to those two little ground strikes he landed after. Was that what was big, Paul? Was that was big? That's what changed the fight? Now this next clip, a more recent one that did stir up a lot of controversy on its own. Jalen Turner versus Gamrot. Now this one, slightly more debatable, slightly. What makes this one, though, so crazy was this one shows the judges might not even know their own criteria, and that is crazy. Now that's terrifying. Come on, that is a horrifying prospect to really think about. The first round clearly went to Jalen. Gamrot was able to get a few takedowns. Jalen was able to get back up each time. And Gamrot did not land a single strike in any of those takedowns. And Jalen landed quite a few on the feet. So clearly goes to him, no question. This second round, though, I'll show you how it ends. I'll show you how the commentators react. And ultimately how the judges most likely reacted because, well, Jalen lost the fight.
Jalen was definitely getting in the better of the stand-up exchanges, but now you have to factor in all this control time on the ground.
Crucifix again.
Yep, stuck in a crucifix, getting beat up, and it looks like the round's going to go to Gamrot now.
I mean, Gamrot got this position and not only held him down, but landed some damage.
Clearly, that was a very advantageous position. He had him in a crucifix, was landing a lot of short strikes there. And if that was the most significant thing that happened in that round, well, you'd say, well, clearly that round goes to Gamrot. I mean, but were those shots really that damaging? Were they as damaging as this, what happened right before all that?
Even though we're talking about Jalen.
Gamrot paid for that.
Ate a kick, too. Oh, front kick to the ball. Right hand by Gamrot.
Huge right hand on the return by Gamrot. Now he can make a shot.
Big right hand by Jalen Turner. That one hurt him.
Gamrot's going to shoot. Look, yeah, you can tell.
Yep. And Jalen successfully stuffs it, and he's wobbly. Oh, nice kick to the body by Jalen. Jalen's got him on the ropes.
Yeah, he's got him hurt bad.
Those were the two most significant things that happened in that round. And it's tough to say what Gamrot did on the ground was more damaging than what Jalen did on the feet. Because Gamrot was hurt. He was hurt. I mean, Gamrot got dropped, clear as day. He got dropped by a right hand, fell to his butt, immediately shot the takedown right away. My point with all this is the UFC needs to come out with some kind of PowerPoint presentation, maybe like a mass email, something something to get the message out there of what the judging criteria is. Everyone always says, they're like, MMA, it's just so subjective. We need to know exactly what means what and what means what because the judging, da-da-da-da. I once heard a conversation on this podcast. Now, this podcast may or may not have included this guy who was like the primary UFC commentator for many, many, many years. But he went, what if I take you down, I'm controlling you on top, but then you throw up a triangle, and you almost get me, but I barely get out. Like, what's worth more, my control time or the submission? And he's all like, oh, it's just so subjective, like, who knows? Well, no, in the criteria, a submission attempt that is close is counted as effective grappling. That is ranked above control time. The information's out there. We just got to spread the word, I guess. No one knows.